Loading snacks.
You got a little bit more left, StellarCon. All right, cool. Once again, my name is Danny Mays. Pleasure to be one of the hosts on the panels for you today. Hope you guys have had a great time, and we are going to be joined by one of the premier voice actors working today. You might know him as Muichiro, Childe, Doppio, and so many more. And guys, I checked, he's got over 1 million TikTok fans and Instagram. Like, he is killing it out there. Really looking forward to having a conversation with him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Griffin Burns.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. How's it going?
How's StellarCon treating you so far?
Me?
You.
Yeah, it's been great and surprisingly busy, and I've met people from my hometown. There's some Hanoverians out there. Anyone? Yeah? Oh, there you are. Yeah, it's been really good.
Well, we have two very important Hanoverians right here. Your parents have joined us.
We do.
It's awesome. Hello,
my mom and dad are here in the front row.
So that'll kind of lead me to my first question, and maybe they had a part in it. What got you into voice acting? Was this something that you identified really young? Was it something you fell into
Sort
later?
of. I didn't know what voiceover was, but I definitely annoyed the crap out of my parents with repeated words over and over again. If there was a sound I liked, I would just kill it. I would say it over and over again until they'd be like, Griffin, please, just stop. But I also grew up doing music, and I think music goes hand in hand with voiceover. It's a very musical type of work, so I don't know. It just ended up leading that way, but not until after college. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the first time, Mom, Dad, if you need a mic to chime in at any point, just raise your hands, let us know. There's some color to add to the stories. What was the first time you did a project, you heard yourself on the end product? What does that feel like?
It's neat. I've been doing this so long that at this point I'm very used to it. But the first time would have been, I did this little project for San Diego's Balboa Park. It was a cell phone adventure game where it was voices from the past, and you went through and you found little markers. You'd dial a number and you'd hear a voice from the past. And I voiced a World War II soldier. And I think that might have been the first voiceover where I heard myself, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But a lot of people don't like the way they sound. They don't like hearing their own voice. And I can relate to that when I was a kid trying to do music and learning how to sing. I did not like how I sounded at first. And it took many, many, many times listening. Oh my gosh, I just noticed a new girlfriend t-shirt. You have a new girlfriend t-shirt, don't you? That's awesome. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm in a band, so that's cool. But yeah, at first I didn't like the way. Who has heard their voice and been like, I don't like this. Exactly. It's always more higher pitched than you anticipate, and it takes some getting used to. Yeah.
So what helped you get over, because definitely me have had that problem as well, can definitely relate. What gets you kind of over the top of that? Is it the validation of getting more and more work? Like, oh, well, I guess it can't be.
You're like, I guess I don't suck.
Right, yeah.
There's that. I think also just repetition. So what I did is I had a boombox, and I put like blank tapes in it, and I would sing. You could record yourself through like the speaker of the boombox.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so weird. But I would record myself that way, and I'd record, listen to it, record, listen to it, and you do that for enough hours, and then you're like, it's not too bad. I can live with it. But yeah, you get validation as you practice more, you book some jobs, you book more jobs, you have people who are like, you're doing a good job. So you just get used to it. Yeah.
Awesome. If you don't mind, let's dive into a couple of your more notable characters.
Sure.
We only have a half hour, so we won't get to all of them.
Yeah, I guess we got to go quick.
Yeah, so let's talk about Demon Slayer, and let's talk about Muichiro. Calm, but that deadly vibe behind it. So what locks you into a character like that? What makes that character different and unique?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little rundown on how dubbing works. When I come into the studio, they often will play me the Japanese, and they'll play me a few lines that I've established as the character. So when I get in there, they play those, I repeat them, and that kind of locks me in. But for the audition process for Muichiro, again, I was like, I heard the Japanese, I wanted to match the tonality a little bit. And of course, you need to know the context of each line, like, he's fighting, he's going up against Kyoko or whatever. And so my job as an actor is to understand what's going on, and deliver the line that makes sense for the context. So some of it's just acting, some of it's picking the voice, and some of it's having a director tell me, perfect, but or not perfect, but like, hey, that was good, but slow it down. We need to match your tone a little bit better, whatever. So I have to take direction, I have to act, I have to fit it in time. I'm wearing multiple hats when I'm doing dubbing.
Yeah, and picking up on the tonality, because it's so important to the essence of a character. Is that something you have kind of full authority or full reign to do, and then they kind of rein you in from there, or do you get like specific direction?
Yeah, I take a stab at it, and I think with that audition from Muichiro, I was pretty much right where they wanted it. We might have made some little adjustments, but yeah, that's something it's a collaboration. When I go into the studio, they might say, yep, tone's perfect, or no, just make it a little younger, or age it up a little bit. So that's part of my job, is to come in willing to play, willing to improvise, willing to be flexible, and you get better at that over time. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's switch gears to Doppio, and we've got one character, but kind of two personalities within that character.
That's
so
right.
What does that look like? Do you develop each of them separately first? Do you think about how the interplay is going to work from the beginning?
This is going to be lame for some people that are big JoJo's fans. So I hadn't watched it prior to working on it, and I was completely relying on the director to tell me what was going on. I didn't even know when I booked it that he had a split personality. So I was just focusing on Doppio and his lines. I wasn't even necessarily aware of everything. So yeah.
Okay, so other elements of the production kind of had to tell that story a little better than, or differently than the voice.
Yes.
The voice doesn't always tell that.
And obviously, I mean, maybe you didn't know this, but like I don't voice his other side. I just voice the Doppio. I don't voice Diavolo.
Right, but do you think? I guess in developing it, do you think about the other side? And I guess your answer was no, because you weren't necessarily familiar with the property.
Yeah, not really.
At a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a cop-out, but that's
no, it's
how it is.
It's a true answer.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
I like not getting the political answer. Like, let me make something up that will flow into where we're going. I like it.
Cool.
So let's talk about Childe. Let's talk about Childe.
Woo!
Yeah, we got a lot of claps there, and then we're gonna get into the music too. So it's funny that you have that shirt.
It's really cool.
So he's kind of blown up, taking on a life of his own. Was that something on your radar, or was this just another job that kind of parlayed into? So tell me a little bit about how that came to be, and kind of how you see that success of that now.
Yeah. I'll give you a short story. Let's see. It was pre-COVID. My job mainly as a voice actor is to constantly audition. And nothing is guaranteed. I'm always fighting for my work. I'm competing against hundreds, if not thousands, of other actors every time I put my name out for something. So the Genshin Impact was no different. It had a code name on it. Didn't even know what it was. It was, just another game. And so I auditioned for it the best that I could. I sent my audition in, and 3-4 weeks later, I booked that part. And we set up a session. Turned out to be a little more involved than I thought. They're like, we're gonna be needing you for multiple sessions. And it went throughout a lot of COVID. And the director at the time was like, this is gonna be a really big project. And when you hear that as an actor, you don't necessarily believe it, because some things come out and they flop, or they don't even come out, or you could be recast. Who knows? There's a million things that could happen. But this was one of the first times in my career where someone said this will be big, and it actually really was. It was huge, and it like spread like wildfire. And I think part of it was because people were at home and had the time to play this game during COVID, and it had a good storyline, and it was a big open world, and people loved it. They loved exploring in it, and so it did change my life in a big way. I mean, I joined TikTok or whatever in 2019, 2020. Made one video, and overnight 50,000 people followed me. I was like, what the heck? This is crazy.
Well, that worked.
Well, that worked. I guess I'll make more content. Yeah, and then just every time I post, tens of thousands of people were loving the content. So it's really opened things up for me.
Do you get people from the past that hear your voice on things that you might like not have connected with in a while? Like, is that you on that? Like, do you get people that, because you said you were always using your voice as you were younger and growing up?
Yeah. I have been doing this since 2010, and a lot of people now, are starting to connect the dots and be like, oh my gosh, I heard you in this one thing from 2014 or 2015. And so it took Genshin for people to kind of be like, oh, I have actually known your work, but I wasn't aware of it, that it was you until now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
That's another form of the validation, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you have a lot of diverse roles. You're a very versatile voice actor. Where do you feel like is your wheelhouse? Like when you see a role or a description of something, and you're like, that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, totally. I tend to play characters that are in the late teens to early 20s, but if they have a little bit of an edge to them, like a little swagger or something, or even like slightly like could be a bad guy or something, I tend to be able to dig into that because I'm able to give characters a little attitude. I think sometimes I can make them punchable, like very punchable characters. But I also can really play innocent, sweet, sort of protag kind of characters. So that's sort of where I feel like my wheelhouse is. But it's always fun to get to play against myself. So it's great to be the protagonist and be sweet or whatever, but it's also nice to play the bad guy. It's fun.
Awesome. And how do you keep all of these voices distinct? Like when you're going in to develop a voice, how do you make it different than all the other ones you've done before?
So one thing which is pretty cool about voiceover is you don't have to make them all distinct. If you're playing a character that's 22 in one franchise and it's the same age in another, you don't necessarily have to do that. It's more about picking the attitude and delivering with acting rather than being like, oh, this voice has to be different. They don't have to be different. In fact, if you were to take all my work and put it next to each other, a lot of it would sound similar. It's the roles that really go against your normal type that will often have a different voice. And again, I play those every now and then, but my wheelhouse, a lot of those characters in my wheelhouse are similar, and that's okay. You do not have to have 100 different voices to work.
What is something you haven't achieved yet that's kind of on your bucket list, like an attainable bucket list? Like, I think this is where I see myself trying to go next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always wanted to do more original animation. Sadly, it's sort of dying off. Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, stuff like that. And I've been lucky enough to be in some of those shows. But I always thought it'd be neat to be on a long-running, episodic, like Teen Titans or something. I'm Ken and Barbie on Netflix, which is awesome, but it's streaming, and I don't know if they'll do more than 2 seasons. We'll see. I was in a show called Bat Wheels where I play the Joker van, 3 seasons, but I believe that show's over. So the era of like the 10 seasons, it might be over, but that was always the goal.
You think that's just because of the sheer amount of content that's out there now? We're just so flooded with it that it's hard to invest.
Yeah, and if it's on streaming, you've got a million options. So to keep that engagement, I mean, you even see it with big on-camera shows where like they'll wait 3 years to bring out the next season, and it's like it kind of falls off because people start watching other stuff. I'm thinking of like Wednesday Addams. What was it, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that the latest season did nearly as well as that first one, and I think part of it's timing. You got to get these things out quick, and you lose people's attention. So
definitely. One of the things I noticed when I was researching you ahead of time, fellow musician, love that weekend cover you recently posted on your Instagram. If you guys haven't checked it out.
Oh, thanks.
But we got the new girlfriend shirt, so I'll ask about that project, music. Has that always been kind of a love that was running alongside this?
Yeah.
And how does that fit into your overall?
Yeah. It was probably my first, aside from skateboarding, it was one of my early passions was music. I went from piano to guitar, and I played in garage bands and stuff. And when I moved to LA, I tried to do the band thing for a little bit, but then needed to make a living. So it was probably 5 to 6 years into being in Los Angeles that I started New Girlfriend, which is the band that I'm in now. And I needed to sort of establish myself and my career before circling back to music. So fortunately, I'm still doing it. I'm still writing music, and we're still putting stuff out. It's a little slow, but yeah, thanks.
Are you finding a crossover? Do you have a goal in crossover in terms of I can take my brand as a voice actor, and how do you translate that to getting them into the music?
Right, it's helped. We went from 35 monthly listeners to at one point about 25,000, and most of that was because of Genshin and people discovering the music through that community. You have to be really consistent with music, so our numbers aren't that high anymore, but my notability as a voice actor is definitely let people know about the music. So, but you have to be a squeaky wheel. You have to constantly market, and I'm so busy. Like I did 30 conventions this year. So to try to like play shows, write music, and travel and it's a lot. So, you know, there is a dream though somewhere out there where it's like it'd be cool to tour as a musician. It'd be cool to have a hit song out there somewhere, but. Who knows what'll happen? Still time.
No, plenty of time, and I think do you find that having your brain work in like two completely different directions like that kind of keeps you sharper on both sides? Do you feel like that you have to be in both, like that completes you, or do you think you could go one way or the other? Would you prefer to go one way or the other if you had ultimate success?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing voiceovers, so I probably would always keep my hand in that. Music is a different. Performing in front of people is really the difference. Doing music from home isn't so different from doing voiceover from home, but getting on a stage like this and performing and seeing people's faces and watching them sing the songs with you is like that's pretty cool. Yeah,
for sure.
And you don't get that with voiceover.
No, I mean the response of a live audience
exactly.
is you can't recreate that.
Right.
If you don't mind, we have time for perhaps a couple of questions from the audience.
Yeah, totally. Please, if you have any questions, let me know.
It's Jay in the rad Roosevelt's Ghostbuster shirt, so raise your hand and he'll come over.
All right, I'm close to you, so we're gonna start here. Could you just record? This way? Thank you so much. Hey Griffin, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. So I just have a couple of questions about your time performing as Cyril from Fire Emblem Three Houses and Three Hopes.
Cool.
So the first one is how much of yourself do you like resonate with Cyril's character? Actually, I'll let you answer that one.
I was gonna say hopefully not too much because I find him a little bit pathetic. He's nonstop whining about Lady Rhea. So okay. I don't know. Not too much.
He's hardworking, though.
He is hardworking.
Yeah.
And apparently, when you level him up, he's a pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is he? He has a bow, right?
He has a bow.
Archer.
Yeah, he's a bow. He could also ride one of those wyverns. You know.
Yeah.
Fly around.
Okay, he's got a good work ethic. I think I have that too.
And the second one is, what do you think worked best with having Patrick Seitz as the voice director for both Three Houses and Three Hopes?
Oh, Patrick's amazing. He's one of the best directors I've worked with. He's really smart and he's able to convey. He can pull things out of you very well because he was like an English lit teacher, I believe. He taught for like a long time, and then he transitioned into voiceover. And so when he talks to you and asks and directs you, he has just such a way of putting things in words. It's like, oh, got it. I know exactly what you want. So I think he's a great director, and I think he gets the best out of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, we're gonna hop down. Mind if I hop in here real quick? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I like to hang with people.
Jay, please, we don't have insurance. Do not fall over
I'm
those chairs.
I'm not shocked at this at all. All right, who's going? All right, here we go.
Hi, Griffin.
Hey.
I'm gonna ask you like the most simplest question.
Okay.
But who was like your favorite character to voice act as, or voiceover as?
Of all the things I've done?
Yeah.
They're all kind of like my children, so it's hard for me to pick. Doppio was a lot of fun to do from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, I'll go with Doppio.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right down here. Pass that mic over there.
Hi, Griffin.
Hey.
I hate the way what's your favorite line as Muichiro?
Can I curse? I guess I can.
Yeah, they'll blame it on me.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay, it's his fault. You better knock it off, you piece of shit. Hey.
All right, now none of you kids, don't repeat. Don't repeat.
Your mother says that's what you say at home all the time. Is this true?
A lot of
no
notes
comment.
get sent home at my kids.
Mom, we'll have we'll have a podcast we'll do after, just me and you. We'll get the story.
Things my kids say. All right, I believe I had someone right down here with the red hair. Was that you? Raised your hand, had a question? There we go.
All right, we're running out of time.
All right,
so-
all right, right back here. Here we go. I'm right here. There we go.
Oh, there's another mic over here too. All right, well, you first.
If Muichiro had a job other than being a demon slayer, what do you think it would be?
He would work at Hot Topic. He'd stock the shelves. There was a question right here too. You can just yell it out if you want. What?
Oh, here, I'll give you my mic here.
You were one of the first to raise your hand, so
Can you catch it? Oh, here we go.
Wait, really? Okay. Whoa.
Those
Okay.
cost money. Our sound guy's having a heart attack.
What's your question?
When for like the backstory of Muichiro, like when you were with your brother, not your
Muichiro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were with him, like, was it like sad to voice act him and like watch his rotting body?
Absolutely. What was your name? Charlotte. Charlotte asked, was it hard to voice the scene with Muichiro and Yuichiro? I do voice both of Muichiro and Yuichiro. Yes, it was hard. It was probably the hardest scene to voice. I often say it's not very hard to be loud and dynamic with voiceover. It's not hard to be angry and yell and scream, but it is really hard to play small, subtle, and very emotional lines. So having to be, Muichiro's like crawling to his brother and he's whimpering and he's just crying and he's really upset. Like, that's all very hard to do, to keep the emotion there, but to keep it really quiet. So, yeah.
Nice throw, nice catch. We got time, 2 more quick questions.
Hi, Griffin.
Where are you?
Over here.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Dome and Crybaby. So
Cool.
I was wondering, what was your first impression in seeing the plot of the show and the description of your character?
Okay, so I had a female director on that one, and do you remember that there's some scenes that are really uncomfortable to do. I didn't know anything about that show. I was actually auto-cast because I had worked with that company many times, and so I was fortunate. They're like, we're gonna give you this role. But when I first saw it, I was like, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. It looked, I would describe it as like almost psychedelic, 70s, rock and roll, kind of really wild. And I thought it was really, really cool. I hadn't really watched anime at that point. And so that was one of the first times where I was like, I think I'm gonna watch this when it comes out. I wanna hear it. And I was just shocked. Like that first or second episode, I was like, what is going on? This is crazy. So it was cool. I'm glad I'm in it. Yeah.
All right, Brendan, you got one more up there?
Yup.
Oh yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Griffin.
Hey.
I have a question about Childe's lines. What's your favorite line that Childe says?
Other than his "Hey girly" line,
Yeah.
I mainly like that line because people get such a kick out of it. But I don't know. This place is pretty dead, by which I mean there's nothing to kill. Or I don't know. This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Now then, amuse me. Yeah.
All right, one more up top here.
If you were picked a JoJo stan of any, what do you pick?
Wait, what?
A JoJo stan.
Oh, it's JoJo Stan?
Yeah. What do
Oh
you pick?
no. You're gonna hate me because I can't think of, what are they, like Metallica?
Yeah. King Crimson.
King Crimson. I'm gonna go with King Crimson. Thank you for the question. I need to watch JoJo's.
Griffin, thank you so much. I think you have to get
Yeah.
back to your table because you
Sure.
still have more people that you need to meet.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. It's so nice to have you out here.
Thank you all so much for joining us. If you've not had a chance to meet Griffin, he'll be headed back to his table, and we are open until 5. And coming up next, we've got the adult cosplay contest. Once again, Griffin Burns, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much, everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was fun. Yeah.
What's good, Loading Snacks universe? Did you think that was too sweet? Well, do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you're watching us on. And also, jump on over to patreon.com/loading snacks, where you can support us in everything we do and pick the tier of your choice. Much appreciated.